In this particular video, I'll be showing you how to install Windows 8 using UEFI from a USB stick. The first step you want to carry out is to copy the Windows 8 disk contents to a folder on your computer. I've copied it here to Windows 8 ISO, and for that purpose I'll be using this SanDisk stick, which is a 32 gig. And we'll be converting it to the GPT partition scheme and installing it over USB 3.0. So the things you'll need for this are obviously a stick, a computer running Windows, obviously a DVD drive to copy the contents of the DVD, and your Windows 8 product key. What you need to do first is go into the command shell in Windows. I'm just going to put the phone down for a minute, type in command CMD into the search bar on the Windows Start pane, come over here with the mouse, right click on it and choose Run as Administrator. The command shell will appear, and then you need to type in this part as one word. Looks like this. Press enter, wait for it to come up. The next command you need to type is list disk. And we can see that our 32 gigabyte, well it's actually 29 gigabytes formatted, SanDisk stick is disk number 2. So we type in, and I do apologise for the constant going black and then coming back up, going down, coming back up, but I am using a telephone to record this video. The next step is we type in select disk 2, and then list part. It shows me that there is one partition on the disk. Now's a good time, if it's a used stick, to check to make sure that there's no data on it, because you're going to erase it all. So here it is, and it's got some things on there which I don't know what they are because it's a brand new stick, but I will copy the contents to my hard drive. Oh, and it's just created a recycle bin. Right click copy, go to the C drive, create a new folder, and I'll name it SanDisk, and paste. Oh my god, that was lightning quick. Desktop any, skip this file. Okay, so now we've backed up the contents of the stick. We'll need to close the Windows Explorer window, and we're back on our DOS box. The next step is to type clean, which is clean. I can't type with one hand. There we are, clean. Now, warning, this will erase everything on the stick. It's now cleaned the stick, and there are no partitions on it. The next step is convert. This creates convert GPT, and press return, and that creates the disk to the GPT format. Now I'm going to put the phone. The next step you need to type is create partition primary size equals 8 0. That creates an 8. I think it's 2 4 5 6, 5 zeros on the end. So create partition primary size 8 gigabytes. I've probably put too many zeros in, so it's 4 zeros on the end. 8,000, yes, it's measured in megabytes, so 8,000 megabytes. That's now created the partition. The next step, sorry about all those boo-boos there, is format. Format FS equals FAT32, as UEFI can only read FAT32 partitions. Quick. And there's the command you need to type. We'll now format the disk, and it's now formatted. Now you want to assign it a driver to them. We're going to call it assign letter equals, and I'm going to make it Q. You type that in, and it now has the letter Q. Leaving the command prompt open, go to my computer or hold down Windows and tap E. Whoops, wrong button. This is a problem typing one-handed and you cannot see the keyboard. There it is, letter Q. That has nothing in it. Now you want to copy the contents of that Windows 8 disk you just backed up onto your C drive onto the USB stick. Control A, Control C, and then go back to your USB stick, letter Q, and paste. And I'll pause the video here because we don't want to sit here and watch a whole bunch of files copy. Even though the stick is lightning fast, it's going to be finished in about 10 seconds. And so now we've got a stick with an 8GB partition containing the Windows 8 files. We've left enough room for our drivers for our computer, which you should now go and download from the manufacturer's website. In my case, it's the Clevo W650EH. But we have all this unallocated space, and it might be a good idea to use that. So right-click on it. You need to, I first better show you how to get into the disk management machine first. To get there, you go to your Start menu, right-click on Computer, select Manage, Disk Management on the left, and up pops all your machine's disks. Scroll down till you find your Q drive. I gave mine the letter Q. Come to the part where the unallocated space is, right click on it, new simple volume, and just next your way through the prompts. I'm going to give this one the letter V. So just drop it down list. We're going to format it with NTFS, and I'm going to give it a label. I'm not even going to bother giving it a label. Click next and finish. And now it's formatting. And once that completes, the rest of the stick will be available to store your files on. Maybe you want to put Office on there, or some programs that you want to install on your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the driver packs, which I downloaded from my laptop, to this stick, and then we'll head back over to the W650EH and I'll show you how to install the Windows using the UEFI method. And now we're into the last step of getting our computer set up and ready to go. And for that, all we need is the USB stick we've created, which has our drivers and our Windows 8 setup, our Windows 8 key code, our hard drive, which we'll install once Windows is installed, onto the MSSD, M-SATA SSD, and of course our little trusty screwdriver. So I'm just going to put my Windows product code out of sight. I don't want people pinching my Windows code. So open a laptop. In one of the previous videos, we set the BIOS up by going into the settings and changing it to UEFI, but just for the purpose of this video, I will show you where that is. So on the top of the BIOS here, you have Main, Advanced, Security, and Boot. Come along to Boot. Go down. Is it Boot or Security? Damn it, don't remember now. UEFI settings. Yes, UEFI settings. UEFI Boot enabled. You don't need to enable network stack or anything like that. Once you're done there, come along to Save Changes and Reset. But before you do, plug the USB stick into the USB 3.0 port. So I'll just plug that stick in. Oh. Right, I can do all this, but I can't plug a USB stick into a laptop. There we are, it's plugged in. Okay, and press return. And return again to confirm change. And you see the Horizon logo comes up straight away because it's booting from our little stick we created. And in a few moments we'll see the Windows setup screen. And here's the Windows setup screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the language location, English Australian. it is, English Australia. Everything else looks correct. Click next, then click install. Setup is starting. I'm not going to bore you with waiting for Windows to install. The next step is to enter the product key. So I'm going to pause the video here because I don't want to show my product key, and then we'll continue. Okay, I've now entered my product key. The next step is just to hit the spacebar and press enter. You want to do a custom installation, which is the second option. And we can see our primary hard drive here, and then below that is the USB stick. So the primary hard drive is already selected, so we click next. And Windows will go ahead and install, and that takes about 10 minutes. And when that's finished, I'll finish off the video. Okay, Windows is now installed. It happened a lot quicker than I thought. You can choose your colour for Metro by using one of the options up the top here, and name your computer as well. I'm just going to call it laptop. Then click next. I don't want to use Express settings. Install Windows important updates. Yes. Yes. Smart screen. No, I don't want that. Turn on Internet Explorer. No, I don't want that. I don't use Explorer. Send a do not track request. Yes, keep that one open. Okay, that's all good. Otherwise, you might as well leave off. Check online for solutions and problems. Error reporting. Goodbye. Yes, that's all good. Now you need to create your username. I'll just fill these forms in, and I'll be back in a moment. The next step is installing drivers, not activating Windows, because we don't have any wireless access at the moment. I would start by going with the chipset, and then I would move on to the Intel VGA, NVIDIA VGA, the LAN, the wireless driver. Now I have two here. I've downloaded both of the Realtek drivers because I don't know which one is in my computer. The touchpad, the Intel MEI, the card reader, the sound card, airplane driver, and the Sound Blaster thingy. Well, it's actually this here, the Sound Blaster Cinema. There should be a hotkey driver there as well. You want to install that, and that will be the second one I install because this screen is insanely bright. So just go down to setup for the chipset. That's a yes. I won't accept it to have to do the out key trick. That's a yes. So I'll go ahead and install these drivers, and then we'll get around to activating Windows 8. Okay, this is the workaround for people installing from a Windows 8 upgrade / Windows 8 Pro upgrade, and don't want to go through the whole procedure of installing Windows 7 and then upgrading to Windows 8. Open the registry editor, and that can be done by swiping in from the right of your trackpad, going to search, typing in regedit, it appears there, right click on it, and run it as administrator. I've already done that in the background, so I'll just come back to it, and regedit will appear. You will see HKey local machine. You need to go to HKey local machine, software, Microsoft. It's getting a bit closer there for you guys. And scroll all the way down till you see Windows, current version. Scroll down to setup, and then OBE. And on the right hand side you'll see the top one. Here it is, Media Boot Install. Double click on that guy. Sorry folks, I've lost the mouse. There we are. And change the value from 1 to 0. Then what you need to do is, I'm not going to change that because I've already activated in the back. I've already activated so you don't see my product code. Once you've done that, come into a command prompt. So once again, swipe in from the side of your trackpad. Go to the search option. Type in the three letters CMD. You'll see command. Right click on it. Run as administrator. Once again, I have an elevated command prompt. I've already opened the command prompt as elevated. So type in SLMGR/rearm. Press enter. I'm not going to do that because that might deactivate my Windows. And then, after a short moment, you'll have a little pop-up saying the command completed successfully, and but it may not take effect. It may not take effect until you restart. So then, one more swipe in from the trackpad. Once that command is completed successfully, click on Settings, Power, and choose to reboot. After the computer reboots, which won't take very long, hopefully. Oh, make a liar of me. It's a pretty quick laptop. I'll show you that my Windows is activated. Just wait for it to boot up. Windows is now started. Press enter and type in my password. As you can see, I've set Windows up to launch with the default as the desktop. Our next step is to check the activation status. So to get to that, for those of you who haven't changed it so it comes up with Metro, if your machine defaults to Metro as the first UI, you come down here to PC Info. After you bring your Charms bar in, PC Info, and you'll see that your Windows, let's cover up my product ID there, is activated.